Okay, let's begin. Thanks so much for being here. Take a comfortable seat. And as you get to your comfortable, well, however much comfort you can find right now. When I say comfortable seat, I'm aware that for some people, it's not possible to find a comfortable seat. When I teach, I'm always aware that no matter what I say, what cue I give, etc., it does not work for everyone. For someone, they'll be like, well, that doesn't make any sense to me because of my experience. So it's very important, I feel, when you take yoga, to remember that not everything the yoga teacher has you do or say is for you. Because unless we're teaching one-on-one, we can only give generalized instructions. So you listen to your body this morning, your practice. So if you have some kind of comfortable seat, just take a moment and see how you're doing, how you're showing up this morning. It's a little earlier for you there around Santa Fe than it is here in the Boston area. I appreciate that we woke up this morning, that we have this very precious human life. Death can come at any moment, and we didn't die last night, and that is unbelievably fortunate. And then we're very close to the full moon of the Sakadal month, so the energy is very, very strong. The actual full moon in Boston is 7 a.m., so that will mean 5 a.m. for those that took to Nobeling, which means just around the time you finish taking precepts, if you're going to take precepts, will be the full moon. So this is a very powerful time to practice. So because of that, especially, let's be clear on our motivation. If you like, bring your palms together. May our yoga be a cause for benefit, that each one of us can awaken to our fullest potential, our Buddhahood, not just for ourselves, but for the benefit of each and every living being, not leaving out even one. And take a moment now, and we'll take a moment for some pranayama, breath work. Change your position if you like. Let's start with a couple of deep sighs where, you might just allow the sighs to be natural, but we can also take a deeper breath in when you're ready. You don't have to do it right the moment I suggest it. So a deep breath in. And then breathing in. You can do it with the mouth open or closed. Breathe in. Sighing is a natural process. We sigh all the time without even being aware of it. Sometimes it's very helpful to just allow ourselves to sigh, to let it go. And then let's see if you can invite a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. So when you breathe in, you don't want to breathe in so much that you feel agitated or too full, but just a deeper than regular breath in. When it feels about right, pause for half a second and then turn the corner and exhale the breath out. The breath is about as long or longer than the inhale. We're aiming for that ratio where the exhale is as long or longer, even up to twice as long as the inhale. So the ratio could be something like this. Breathe in. Slow breath out. Breathing in and out through the nose. Breath in. Slow breath out. Sitting tall. Squeezing the belly back to the spine to help the air push out. 2 more. Inhale. Letting the air go down into the lungs. Allow the expansion. Exhale. Longer breath out. You can give a little squeeze at the belly or a little squeeze at the ribs to help push the air out. If the pranayama makes you feel agitated or uncomfortable, then you let it go. You stop doing it. Otherwise, 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Pushing the air out, lengthening your exhale. Great, and let's move now. Lie on your back. If you want to have a little something under your head, you can. I often do that. Not too high. You can have a towel or a blanket. When you get there, if you just want to take a stretch, just see how you're showing up. Reach out. And then come for a moment, lying on your back with your knees bent, and the feet can be any distance away from you, also left to right. Bring your hands behind your head and just give a little lift. Allow the head to rest into the hands and a little stretch in the back of your neck. Not too much. Everything is gentle, listening, never ever forcing. And then slowly bring your head down. The arms could go out wide if you like, or some other position for the arms that you prefer. And take in the shape of your spine when you're lying here. So we're lying on the ground, and then the spine starts almost at the level between our ears. It's quite high up. We have 7 neck vertebrae, 12 thoracic or upper back vertebrae, 5 lower back or lumbar vertebrae. And then we have the sacrum, fused bones that snuggle at the back of the pelvis, and at the very bottom is the tailbone. If we were an animal, that would keep going. Well, we are an animal, we're a mammal, but we're a human being. We just have the tiny little tailbone. Visualize best you can your spine 3-dimensional. Visualize its curves the best you can. And the spine is kept together with ligaments, very strong, dense tissues. Most of the spine have these cushions, discs between them. When we lie down, it's very helpful for these discs. There's a lot of muscles supporting, especially at the back of the spine. The nervous system runs through the spine, the central nervous system. So as best you can, you're taking in all aspects of the spine. And also connect that to all of you, just for a moment. We have our incredible spine, so much to say about that. And we have all of us, physical and non-physical, our heart, mind, awareness, conjoined, interdependent with the physical body. And remember always to sigh anytime. Okay, so with that awareness, let's bring the knees into the chest. Take some circles. So that shape we just did, lying on the ground with the knees bent, and then I got you to sense your spine. This shape, especially if you put something under your head, allows your spine to be very neutral. People are always talking about posture. Often people want better posture, standing up. Well, when we lie down like that, our alignment, our posture, if you like, of our spine becomes very long and neutral. So it's a very useful pose to do. Lie on your back, knees bent, and just rest a few minutes. Hands on knees, knees away from you, arms more straight. Inhale here. And exhale, pull back. Inhale, knees away. Exhale, pull back. So we'll do this 4 more times. Go to your rhythm. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, pull back. Inhale. Just still hold the knees. Exhale, the thighs press into the belly to help push the air out. Lengthen your exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Coordinating breath with movement. Exhale. Bring both knees to the ground. And let's keep the right leg on the ground, knee bent, and hug the left knee back. You can take the left knee a little wider than your ribs. Then slowly, if all is good for your body, extend the right leg out. If it feels too much for any reason, then very simply, you don't bend it. So there's no one right way in yoga. Very important to remember that. It's not like, oh, the teacher said extend the leg out and I can't do that, so I can't do yoga. Not like that. Everyone can do yoga. You just need to listen to your body, what's best. Then bend the right knee back up again if you had it extended, and extend your left leg to the sky. Point and hold behind the leg. Point and pull back a few times. Point the foot and pull back. And also make some circles with your ankle. Make circles with your ankle. Okay, if you like, again, you could extend the right leg. If that's too much for your body today, don't do it. No need. Doesn't make you a better person. Okay, you can even give a little massage along the back of your leg with the hands that are holding on. If the leg doesn't straighten, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then we'll finish that. Bend the knee. Both feet on the ground, lift the pelvis up, take the pelvis over to the left, bring your knees into the chest and then drop them over to the right. We're heading into a twist. Take a moment on the right side, the knees can be up, or if there's another way that you prefer for your lying down twist, you can do that. And then you open the left arm. You can also bring the hand onto your side hip or your shoulder, and you don't have to extend the arm out. Take a couple of breaths where you can feel the belly being smushed. And there's a twisting effect and a massaging effect. In all your twists, you don't want to feel any kind of pain in your low back of the pelvis. The twisting in the spine happens further up the spine, around the waist, slightly higher than the waist. And then with the left arm, you can reach up by the ear, you can have it by the side, you can take some half circles with your left arm. One more moment in your twist. Long breath in, deep breath out. And bring yourself back to center, neutral. on your mat. Feel the difference, anticipate the second side, but first just a moment to acknowledge we did one side, and let's take the hands on the knees again. Do a couple of inhale the knees away, exhale, pull back. Inhale, knees away, exhale, pull back. One of the benefits of this pose movement, called apanasana, is it's a nice massage for the belly. And if you have too much wind or you're constipated, this is a really good pose to do. Simple and good. Inhale, knees away. Exhale, hug back. Bring your feet to the ground. Keep the left leg bent, left foot to the ground, and hug the right knee back. And a little wider, you can stay here, or you can extend the left leg out further, or you could have your left leg extend out straight. You decide, it's your practice. You want your yoga to be a pleasant and lively and interesting conversation with yourself, with your body. But there's no need for the conversation to be an argument, a battle. Pleasant conversation with yourself when you're practicing your asana, physical yoga practice. Okay, then bend the left leg up again if you had extended it, and then extend your right leg to the sky. Pull the right toes back and point a couple of times, and also circles. If you want to extend the left leg again, you can. Give some massage to the back of the leg. It's fine if the leg isn't bent, isn't straight. I mean, if your left leg is bent, that makes it easier to straighten. So the goal here is to get some hello stretch to the back of your leg here. Okie dokie. And then when we're finished that, bring your foot down, lift the pelvis up, take it over to the right, hug your knees in, drop them over to the left, get onto your left side body, and then when you're ready, open the right arm up. You don't have to extend the arm out, especially if you have any shoulder things going on. A few deep breaths where you can feel your belly getting smushed and twisted. Smushed and twisted. Every moment of your practice is just your experiment. As long as you're breathing well and you're being kind and listening to your body, then it's all good. It's all good. Last moment. Exhale out and then bring yourself back to the center. If you had something under your head, you can move it away. So today I'm going to suggest that we roll up, rock and roll to come up. But if this doesn't work for you, then just roll over to the side and push yourself up. Otherwise, we start to do some rolls. You can hold on to the knees. So just like you did when you were a kid. And if you're not used to this, it might feel quite strong on the bony part of your spine. Right? See if you can do it half a dozen times. You get a little bit of momentum. Think of yourself as 5 years old. Once upon a time, I can definitely say we were once all 5 years old. Our body used to do this kind of thing. It's birthright still is to do this kind of thing. Last one. It's a nice massage to the spine, and then cross the ankles and come onto hands and knees. From hands and knees, spread the hands, bring them under your shoulders, knees underneath the hips, feet are a little bit away from one another. Pause just a moment to take in how you're doing. When you're ready, in your moment, drop the belly, lift the chest, inhale. And exhale, look back between your legs, push up between shoulder blades, tuck tailbone under. Inhale, drop belly, lift chest. Exhale and round. Do this a few times, arching and rounding in your spine, or technical words are extension and flexion. Flexion is the forward bend. Extension is when we drop the belly, lift the chest, look forward, more back bend. And when you're finished with that, you can bring the big toes together, the knees wide enough apart so that your belly can fit down in between. You could bring your forehead on the back of your fists, your forehead on the back of the hands, or the forehead down to your mat. Let your pelvis wiggle a little bit side to side, moving your weight towards one foot and then the other. You're moving your torso side to side. You can just let your belly release. Deep breath in, long breath out as you settle back onto your feet, into your hips. And then onto your hands and knees, and we'll do one more thing on hands and knees, which is circles. Hips back, over to one side, forward, over to the other side, and back. And as you do this, your elbows can bend a little bit, your upper body, your head, your shoulders can respond in whichever way feels natural. As you move the hips, let all of you respond. Make sure you go both directions. The hips, the circles can be small or they can be big. Trying to go over to the side, over to the side. And when you're finished, let's tuck the toes under and come and give a stretch to the soles of your feet. Come and sit up on the back of the heels. If this is too much, then come up. But this is just a nice stretch to the heels. Some of you can sit down, some of you stay more upright. You can give a shake out through your arms, through your hands. Quite nice as well, moves the energy a lot. Any kind of shaking moves the chi in the body. So I love to shake. Let's bring the hands down, untuck your toes. And then we're going to do a low lunge. And with low lunge, you might like to pad your back knee. I often do with my blanket. Take your, you can take one leg forward. I'm going to take my left forward first. If you have yoga blocks, this is where they're very useful. You can bring your hands on your yoga blocks. If they're on the floor, that's fine. Of course, you can have your fingers tented. For some people, it's difficult to have the hand on the outside, so you can also bring both to the inside of the foot. If you have blocks, bring them on the second height. Let your pelvis move a little gently side to side. And if the lunge is too intense, you just turn the volume down a little bit by taking the hips back. So the intensity of the poses is up to you. Be friendly with yourself, curious. The intensity, I always say it's like you have the volume. It's like when we're watching a movie and you have the volume control. In your yoga, you have the volume control. Okay, so hips a little bit side to side. Last moment, long breath out. In the low lunge. Bring yourself back, hands and knees. For a moment, you can feel the difference, and we feel the difference, and then we anticipate the second side. And when you're ready, step the other foot forward, and we take low lunge, Anjane asana. All these, most of the shapes, you know, they have the Sanskrit names, which in the past, you know, I studied them all. I know a lot of them, but I don't use them so much anymore. So you let yourself descend. You place your hands wherever you like. I gave you some options on the last side. You can let your hips move side to side. But you know, the language of yoga, Sanskrit, well, of course, it's the same source language as Tibetan Buddhism. As we know, the Buddhism was came from India. His Holiness always calls Tibetan Buddhism Indo-Tibetan Buddhism, meaning Indian Tibetan Buddhism. I always think that's very important, Indo-Tibetan Buddhism. So yeah, yoga and Buddhism has the same source language, Sanskrit. With Buddhism, there was Pali as well, to acknowledge that. Okay, so last moment here as I've been chatting, so you get time to really feel and be in your lunge, and then slowly bring yourself out. Pause for a moment, either in child's pose or sitting up, whichever you prefer. You don't have to have your toes tucked under, and feel how that is. Now we did a nice long stretch for your legs in lunge. And then we'll come onto hands and knees, and we'll just take a moment to do a pose. Pose is very popular in modern yoga, which is down dog. So it's not, this pose is not great for everyone, but for some people, love it, and a lot of styles use this pose a lot. Downward facing dog, press the hands down into the ground. Inhale, tip toes, exhale, press down to the heels. Do this a few times. You can rest and come down to your knees anytime. You can also do an excellent option is puppy dog pose, so you don't have to have the legs straight. If you're in the down dog, press the hands down and lengthen through the arms. Let your face, your eyes look towards the back of the mat. And turn the knees open, rotate the hips out so knees are aligned with ankles. As you're pressing down into the heels, lift up the toes. Last 2 breaths, down dog. One more deep breath in and out, nice and long. And then come down to your knees again and scooch your feet up and come into a squat. Bring your elbows into the inner knees, and the knees press into the elbow, and lift the chest. You can sit on a block if you prefer, and it doesn't matter. The heels don't get to the ground, who cares? Okay. Heels don't get to the ground, who cares? If you need your hands down to help you support, that's fine. As long as you're not hurt, as long as you're staying safe in your practice, in my book, everything is fine. You know, I mean, I can teach in a very alignment way, but mostly I just want people to enjoy, get in their bodies, listen, feel, move. Then let's go into a standing fold. Drop the head, knees stay bent. Your fingertips could might hold on a little bit to the shin, the ankle. They might dangle, but keep the knees bent. Your fingertips might get to the ground. And give a little dangle and shake with the head and the arms. If your fingertips are on the ground, walk them around to the right. Keep the knees bent, let the pelvis move. And then walk the fingertips all the way around to the left. And back to center. Take a long exhale. And then on your inhale, ground into the feet, sweep the arms out wide, rise up as you breathe in, hands over to the head, over the head. And exhale, palms through center. Inhale, sweep arms out, take up all your space. Exhale through center. Inhale, sweep out. Take up a lot of your space and feel the palms meet. Exhale. Okay, and then as I mentioned before, I love to shake. We're just going to do a little shaking here. Shake out your left leg, shake out the right leg, and the left leg, and the right leg, and then a little bit more in the arms. And then just give yourself a shake. It's just going to be for 30 seconds. We're just raising the chi. We're just releasing our tension. Shaking definitely helps to release held tension, physically and emotional tension. Look silly. Let yourself look silly. Okay, we're just about done with shaking. And pause, come back into your mountain pose and feel the effect of that. Feel the vibratory quality, and then feel the stillness. Bring your legs nice and wide. Let's take a couple of standing poses. The legs nice and wide. You can bring your hands on your hips. And turn your right foot out. Your back foot, the heel goes back, toes forward, and the front thighs rolls out. Hands can stay on the hips as you bend the front knee and aim it to the baby toe and bring it back. Let's get breath. Inhale, exhale. So just working in the legs, back foot pressing down strongly. Inhale, back up, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale. Bring the hands in front of the heart. Turn the shoulders to long edge of the mat. Breathe in. And then your long exhale, extend out. So deeper breath here as it's working the legs strongly. Peek back at the back hand and reach it back. And then the gaze over the front hand. Warrior Two, Veerabhadrasana 2. You can turn your palms up as you reach the arms. 1 or 2 breaths more deep. Especially lengthen the exhale. Exhale longer than inhale. And then bring yourself back to center, palms together, parallel the feet. Pause one moment before we go to the other side to feel the effect and to anticipate. We know the other side, so it's this in-between time. And then turn the whole of your left foot out, the left thigh rolls out, back heel goes back. And kind of look at your front leg, letting that front thigh roll open while the leg is more straight here. Hands on the hips. And then exhale, and then we learn to bend the front knee so it moves out towards baby toe. Bring it back, inhale. Exhale, ground the back foot, outer edge of the back foot as you bend front knee. Inhale. And of course, you just bend as little or as much as is good for your knee. Bring it back. The very common thing here is the knee rolls into midline and then it can stress in the inner knee. So that's why we emphasize taking it out towards baby toe. Last one, going into the bent leg, hands to the heart, shoulders can open back. Inhale. Your exhale, extend wide apart. Peek back at the back hand and let that pull you back. Take the gaze over the front hand and turn the palms over. Take a couple of breaths here or come out anytime you like. Stronger, deeper breath. More is being asked of you and your body. Long exhales, remember. And then coming back, hands to heart. Sweep out, inhale, and we'll take a wide leg standing fold. The knees can bend, no problem. If you can, your hands come to the ground, bend the knees to get that. Head hangs. Maybe the hands walk back between the feet. Your feet could go a little wider or a little less wide, and take a little dangle of your torso, a little forward and back on your feet. One more, finishing a long exhale. And knees bend a little, inhale, halfway up, exhale there. And then inhale all the way up. Heel toe feet together just for a moment. We're going to take one more standing pose triangle, but we just take a moment, bring the feet together, and then take them out wide again. The whole of your right leg turns open again. Foot turns open, but also thigh. Back foot goes back, so same leg shape, and open your shoulders. This time the hands extend. Front leg is more straight. We're heading to triangle pose. Pull up the thigh and tip and pause. When you tip, the back side of the pelvis can roll forward a bit. If it's too much for the front leg, you bend the knee. No pain in your low back as the hand comes down to the middle of the shin, maybe the ankle, maybe lower the ground, but it's not at all necessary. Go for stability and happiness in your poses. The left arm reaches up. You can turn the head to gaze up or turn the head to gaze down. You can come out early, otherwise 3 more breaths. Sthira Sukha Asanam. The pose is steady and blissful. So in one of the traditional yoga texts, the Yoga Sutras by Patanjali, that's all he says about asana practice. Ground into the feet, inhale, come up, hands on the hips, parallel the feet, pause. The pose, so it's a very long text, 4 chapters, many individual verses, and the one verse on the asana physical practice is the pose should be sthira, grounded, stable, and sukha, happy, blissful, comfortable. Turn the other foot out, the left foot out, the back heel goes back. The arms can extend, the front thigh is rolling out. As you tip the pelvis, the back thigh can roll a little forward as you press the back foot into the floor. And then reach in the hand down to the shin or a little lower if you like. Bend the front knee if there's discomfort in your low back. As you reach the right arm to the sky, maybe look up or you can turn and look down. Smooth breath in and out. Sthira and Sukha. The Yoga Sutras does not say in triangle you must get your hand to the floor in order to become liberated. Nope, just says be comfortable, steady, grounded, and happy, blissful. Last breath in your triangle, finishing off. Finish your exhale, and then you use your inhale to come up. And we'll take a wide leg standing fold, sweep arms out. And exhale, forward fold. Sigh out of the mouth, take an audible sigh. And then heel toe, feet together and come into your squat. Heel toe, come into your squat. So then we get low to the ground. And bring yourself around to lie on your belly. Bring yourself, scooch around to lie all the way down onto your belly. Forehead on the back. Forehead on the back of the hands for the moment, and then move your pelvis gently side to side. Have a sense of your legs reaching back. You can lift the leg, reach it back, lift the other leg, reach it back. And then let's come into a back bend. Sphinx is generally the most accessible. It's a good starting place. Elbows under the shoulders. And the forearms are on the ground. And then you lift yourself out of the shoulders. Your head can release down, releasing the back of the neck. It can look forward. Or you can give a little stretch to the front of the neck, but not too much throwing the head back. If you like, come a little higher to cobra, but keep the shoulders down, lift out of the shoulders. Hands can release back, elbows in. So you listen to your back bend here, especially targeting the lumbar, low back vertebrae. Come out, lower, so you've got the volume control, less or more. The breathing is moving smoothly in and out. It's all just you having a pleasant conversation with your body and mind together while we're alive. When we wake up in the morning, good news, body and mind are still together in this lifetime. One more breath here. And when you're ready, slowly bring yourself down. You can turn your head one way or the other. If you like, you just become, so three general options after a lot of the poses is you just become still, or maybe a gentle wriggle, or with this one, you can do a gentle windshield wiper. But not a windshield wiper as if you're having a hailstorm. I know you guys get hailstorms, as I recall, the one time I was in Santa Fe. It was all about the stories of the hailstorms. So anyhow, not too fast with the windshield wiper if you're doing that. And extend the legs out. Roll all the way over onto your right side, or actually, whichever side, it doesn't matter, especially if it's easier for you depending, just roll to one side. I actually roll to my left side. My right side is up off the floor, and stack yourself so you're standing very straight, except you're lying on your left side. My knees are not bent, and my feet are stacked, and it's like balancing on the outside of my hip. My lower arm is reaching so that I can have a little resting spot for my head, and I use my hand on top to balance. Okay, so it's actually a balance. And we'll add a little bit of strength work, which is to lift the legs just a little bit up off the ground. If that's too much, just lift the top leg a little bit. And if you need to touch down and rest, then do that. But otherwise, lift the legs for a moment. And it can be a little sharp on the bottom leg, the greater trochanter, the outer hip. The leg bone there, lift. And then release and lie flat on the belly. Flat on the belly. And roll over to the other side. Extend out through your arm. Come and lie all the way on the side body as if you're standing tall, straight-ish, and the feet are stacked, and there's a sense of balancing on the outer hip, and the top arm is used for balance in front of you. So try and come out of any bend in the hips or the knees, and then you can start to lift both legs for a few moments, or just the top leg. Wobble is the name of the game. If you feel wobbly here, that's normal. Especially if you haven't done this pose, it gets a bit wobbly. Okay, last moment, and then relax onto your belly. Pause here. Come onto your hands and knees. We'll head to a pigeon pose, but if you know pigeon and you want to take your right leg forward, just go to that. I'm going to show you a pigeon alternative, which is you come and sit up, and your right leg is as if it's in cross leg, and then your left leg you can bring out to the side like this. Okay, so then as we go into this alternative to pigeon, you can inch the front foot forward, and then the back leg doesn't have to straighten out behind you. It can stay bent like this. And for some people, this works better. And in pigeon, we're getting a deep stretch in the back of the hip of the leg that's in front. So whichever leg you have forward, probably the right. Maybe the back leg is straighter, maybe not. No pain in the front knee. Take another alternative to pigeon if it's better for your knee. Another alternative to pigeon is to sit or lie down in this shape. This also gets the similar area. So if you're in pigeon, just a few more breaths, 3 more breaths. Wherever you are, whatever pose you're in, about 3 more breaths. Then lean to the side. If the right leg is up, lean to the right side and swing the back leg around in front. And then make your way to the other side, whatever your version of pigeon is, whether it's this nice alternative, which can work a lot better for some people. The main goal is the outer hip of the front leg. The leg can go extended behind you. You can also go and sit up or lie on your back, one of those shapes. And your face is relaxed. And just listening to your experience. Not pushing, taking in all of you, practicing with ahimsa. Ahimsa is the very first principle in yoga, according to Patanjali, in the Patanjali Sutras. Actually, there's many more texts than just Patanjali, many more yoga texts, many. But Patanjali's the text, the Yoga Sutras from Patanjali, is referred to mostly as classical, the classical yoga. And in there, the first principle is ahimsa, which means non-harm. So we don't want to hurt ourselves in our yoga. We're actively practicing in a way where we feel safe and happy and not pushing in any way. We don't have to achieve anything. Practicing in a very gentle, kind way. So last moment or two, pigeon this side. And then swing the back leg around in front. Come and lie on your back. Actually, come and sit up. I just remembered just in time something I wanted to do right before Shavasana. So please come and sit up. Take a moment. And last week I introduced Brahmari, the humming pranayama. So we'll do that again. This time, instead of last week, I had you go up and down. So actually, let's start with one tone. And so you can choose whatever tone, more on the low side. Can have your eyes closed, lightly, gently closed. And for about 6 breaths, we're just going to hum, listen, and feel the effect of the sound. So join in when you're ready. Breath in. Keep going. Relax the face, relax the jaw, don't clench the teeth. Take 2 more. Lengthen the breath. It doesn't matter the pitch, whatever pitch you like. Go more for low. And do one more, last one when you're ready. And now come and lie down. So we're nearly at Shavasana. If your body feels ready for relaxation, then simply make your way there. If you would like to do another very gentle twist, you can do that. If you're practice yoga, there's any last little pose you like to do that. I'm going to finish with a gentle twist, dropping my legs to the right. And then knees in, dropping them over to the left. And back to center. And main thing for Shavasana is ensure that you feel very comfortable, warm. So put on sweaters, socks. And then if you put a blanket over you, even if you're not particularly cold, the blanket over you helps to soothe the nervous system, helps you to feel more grounded. As you head into Shavasana, allow yourself to sigh. Take a conscious sigh. And rest. So allow yourself to fully take in your experience, letting go a little more to the earth, to the ground, letting go more to the sky. And when you're ready in your own time, in your own way, begin to arise with a very small movement, a deeper breath. Perhaps a stretch of your arms. Roll over onto your side. You can hang out there for a moment. And when you're ready, push yourself up, come and take your seat. Bring your palms together. We can finish class, close out practice. So just as we began with, I didn't name it, but essentially with bodhicitta motivation, the wish that our practice is a cause for us to become fully enlightened, to awaken to our greatest capacity, potential in every moment so that we can be of great benefit to others, then we just dedicate in a similar way. And if the whole getting enlightened thing doesn't resonate, you know, we can just pray to be a better person, to create more good and benefit and less harm in the world towards ourselves and others, to just bring more peace, happiness, love into the world, especially in our relationships to others. We'll finish with chanting Om, followed by 3 Shantis. Shanti is the Sanskrit word for peace. Breathe in. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for joining today. So today is, we're less than 24 hours before the full moon of the 4th month after the Tibetan New Year. So this is the full moon we call Sakadawa, which is a very, very powerful moon. And this full moon has an eclipse happening as well. So please focus on extra spiritual practice, focus on being a little kinder, take good care. Thank you so much. And to send you on your way, today's ambassador is one of my beautiful rabbits, rescue rabbits. Her name is Akasha. Akasha means space, is a Sanskrit word for space, and I named her Akasha. She was rescued from a meat rabbit operation. And she has I think it's a pretty good life. Sometimes she gets annoyed with me. But no, you're doing good, darling, aren't you? You understand these ambassadorship moments. There's her tail. She's got a beautiful bunny tail as well. So yeah, enjoy, be kind, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with others. Thank you so much.
Thank you.